The best of Money Matters. The Hot Seat.
Welcome to the Hot Seat, a debate segment where ideas clash and insights spark. I'm your host, Hongbin Jeong. Now, with the rise of curated thrift stores, secondhand fashion has become more mainstream thanks to influencer-driven reselling. However, some argue that thrifting is no longer the affordable option it once was. Others believe that despite price changes, it's still a cost-effective and an eco-friendly alternative to fast fashion. Today, we're tackling another hot topic that has raised concerns on social media recently as people are asking, is thrifting still affordable or overpriced now? Well, before we hear from our guests and dive deeper into this debate, here's a disclaimer. The views and arguments presented by our interviewees do not necessarily reflect their personal beliefs or opinions. Instead, they are here to provide a fresh perspective on the topic at hand. On that note, if you'd like to send some questions in for our guests or, send your opinions on whether you think that thrifting is still affordable or overpriced, feel free to text us at 88550893. That's 88550893. Or leave a comment on our Instagram and TikTok as we're currently streaming live on those platforms as well. Well, joining us today to convince us why thrifting is still affordable is Eden Tay, who is the co-founder of Vintagewknd. And on the other hand, we've got fashion model Marcus Ng, who will try their best to provide us that thrifting is indeed overpriced now. Welcome to the show, both.
Hi Hongbin.
Hello.
Hi Hongbin, good to meet you.
Thank you so much for joining me. All right, right off the bat, let's start with something simple. Could you guys share with us, your own personal experience with thrifting and what you think of it? I mean, maybe we can start off with you, Marcus. How much do you usually spend when you go thrifting?
So I first discovered about thrifting in about 2020 towards the end of 2021. And yeah, I feel like thrifting's been great for culture, especially for young teenagers like us growing up, where we found an activity to do over the weekend where we could head down to the shops in Haji Lane to buy clothes and also upstyle our fashion as we got older. So I think it was really beneficial. And yeah, I think it's great for Singapore. It brings people together. It makes us look cooler.
I see.
And it gives us something different from the common retail stores that we see in the shopping malls.
Right. Well then, Eden, tell us about your experiences with thrifting and what you think of it. And I mean, you do have your own thrifting store. It's called Vintagewknd. What's the range of the clothes, the price range that you sell your clothes at?
Hi, we do have quite a large price point. It's quite varied. We start at $13, but we also go up to $85. So I'm only one half of Vintagewknd. I started it in 2015 with my partner Eileen. So over the years, we actually started on Carousel and then we did a couple of pop-up stores and warehouse sales as well. When COVID happened, we did a lot of live sale, and then after COVID, we opened our store at Haji Lane. So Vintagewknd is not really a thrift store, but we've definitely seen the rise of thrifting in the past 9 years. But on a personal note, Eileen and I just bought our new house, so we are really, really big fans of thrifting our furniture online.
Oh, amazing. Well, over the years, numerous thrift stores have popped up all across the country. Some of the popular ones include, Kiraru Thrift Shop, Loop Garms, and even sustainable rework brand Vintagewknd, among others currently operating here in Singapore. Well, Eden, how can thrifting then be considered affordable when some of the items sold are priced close to or even higher than, fast fashion brands?
I think, for the sake of this debate, I feel that affordability is quite a subjective term. So let's just coin it at under $15. Would everybody think that's fair? Okay, so I think that for options below $15, there are still charity thrift stores available like Salvation Army and SSVP, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. And at the end of the day, local thrift stores, they are still businesses who are exposed to pressures like rental, and I do believe they're trying to pay a sustainable salary for their local workforce as well. So I think that for them, it's imperative to have to profit maximize to make sure that they do have the business longevity. And of course, we are going up against fast fashion. So fast fashion is always getting cheaper and cheaper with tools like AI and whatnot. So yeah, I feel that the options are there. Affordable options are available for people out there.
I see. Let's flip this around as well. Marcus, then is it fair to call thrifting overpriced when thrift store prices are still significantly lower than retail for many items?
So personally for me, I think we grew up with the idea of a thrift store being, for example, Salvation Army, where we drop off goods and we buy cheap furniture or CDs and even clothing. But I think growing up, especially as a teenager on pocket allowance, and if I told my mom I wanted to buy like this really nice secondhand t-shirt for $30, I would get this really weird stare. Like she would counter me and be like, but you can buy a new t-shirt as well. But then I'll go, it's not as cool, mom. Like the designs aren't the same like they used to be. And yeah, so to me, I think the maximum I would have spent is about $30.
Right, I see. But looking at the trend of thrifting over the last couple of years, I do wonder, Eden, are thrift stores still meant to be sustainable and help low-income shoppers, or have they, become more focused on profit and hype culture?
I think that in our past experience over the last 9 years, we've definitely witnessed an explosion of thrift culture, really. And after COVID, there were so many thrift stores that popped up. So in terms of this, I feel that they really do have to leverage their social media to focus on their target market. For example, you have some thrift stores that focus on like 90s band tees and all that. And you also have thrift stores selling vintage jerseys. So to me, personally, I feel that thrifting comes in many forms. There's actually lots and lots of free things on Carousel if you search for it. So Eden and I bought a new house, so we actually spent months looking for this particular dining table. And I think it was 2 to 3 months, and we actually found it for $60.
Oh.
That's the table and 6 chairs. So it was really, really fun for us. And I think that's really the joy of thrifting. But it does take a lot of effort to find good and affordable deals.
I see. Now, if we were to do a quick Google search here, you can see that not every, thrift store is the same. Some offer different goods and cater to different crowds depending on the items they carry in their inventory. So having said that, Marcus, with budget-friendly thrift stores and sustainable bundle deals still available, isn't it unfair to generalize that thrifting is too expensive?
Okay, so personally for me, I know there's high-end thrift stores which include the high-end luxury brands, and then we have the big bundle stores we see. So I feel like there's a market for every shopper. It just depends how much you're willing to spend. And if you want to buy a luxury t-shirt, you can't expect to get it for $30. So I feel like we have to balance being realistic, and also because the sellers also have to make their money. I feel like it's just shopping where you can afford. So for example, taking more effort to go to a big bundle store would mean cheaper clothes, although it means more time for you. But I feel like if you really want to find the t-shirts, you can still find it. It's just harder because, as we know, curated stores charge a higher price to serve for our convenience. So we don't have to dig to the big piles. But I would say it's a bit unfair to generalize that thrifting is too expensive because if you can give up the time and effort to go on the weekend and dig through the piles, I feel like you'll find clothes that you really like and you'll learn to wear for many, many months or even years.
Right. I mean, one of the many things that quickly rose to popularity is online shopping. Granted that it did exist earlier in the past, but COVID-19 did make, online shopping a norm, giving birth to a new way of purchasing items, including secondhand goods as well. Now, however, the caveat of online shopping comes in delivery and shipping fees, all of which could make the entire experience more expensive. Marcus, wouldn't you say that thrifting is still the most economical way to buy secondhand items, though?
Okay, so for me personally, I think as a consumer, I enjoy actually thrifting online because it means you don't have to dig through the racks and you can actually see the items with one swipe down your phone. And it kind of streamlines the whole process. So I feel like thrifting is still economical to buy secondhand clothes, but also for me, I even repurpose my thrifted clothes. For example, where I cut a t-shirt into a singlet, or I cut a long t-shirt into a boxy crop tee. Wow. So I feel like there's many ways that you can be economical about your shopping.
I see. I mean, there are some online thrift stores, though, that are charging as much as fast fashion retailers now. And we did a poll on our Instagram to ask our followers whether they think thrifting is still affordable. And the results show that 77% says it's not affordable in Singapore. So, Eden, if that's the case, how do you justify thrifting and sustainable goods as a realistic alternative for, budget-conscious shoppers?
I think I was part of the 23%, to be honest. I voted earlier today. I feel that, it really varies differently from business to business, but in my personal experience, Vintagewknd started 9 years ago with 3 types of product lines. We had vintage blouses, vintage dresses, and vintage skirts. The vintage blouses in 2015, it was $15 to $17. Now, 9 years later, we are selling them right now at Haji Lane for $13. So I think it's also important for these brands to be able to diversify into different lines. Like, for example, for us, we diversify into like handmade rework lines. So we do have this line called Cottage Cloth, and it's upcycled from home linen, like your tablecloth, your curtains, the embroidered fabric and all that. And we also have Lunar Lux, which is upcycled from silk scarves. But for us at Vintage Weekend, we will always try to have budget options available with simple upcycling like dye work or just cropping the top,
I see. Well, social media do also, as we said earlier, plays an important role in encouraging thrift shopping as well, with some influencers, promoting things like sustainable fashion, upcycling, or even reasons to donate old clothes. So, Marcus, with thrift hauls and tips, hasn't thrifting become more, efficient and convenient, helping shoppers find affordable deals more easily?
Okay, so I feel like there's two sides to this coin. One is finding affordable deals, and one is also finding quality deals. So, for example, with the increase in many shops in Singapore, I feel like there's been a lot more supply for us consumers, but it's also made it harder for us to find like quality t-shirts, because we could probably get a lot of tees unwantedly. They have yellow stains, or they have overstretched collars, or like the shirt has lost its shape. So I feel like, yes, it has become easier to find deals, but I still think that consumers would prefer a more curated side of thrifting, as long as the affordable prices that comes with it.
Right. Of course, there are some influencers who focus more on rare finds as well, such as Y2K vintage labels. Eden, wouldn't social media hype kind of turn thrifting into a trendy, profit-driven industry rather than an affordable option for those in need, especially with influencers kind of like hyping them up?
Okay, personally, I feel that those in need, they would know where to find the affordable options. And there are options that are very cheap or even free, and all of this it's beyond social media. But for the items that you see hyped up on social media, I do feel that the consumers buy them more because that it's a want and that it's not a need. Because like you said, these items, they tend to be like collector's items, like sneakers and specialty brands and whatnot. But what's happening here is that this is really helping to build a community in thrifting, which is, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, because thrifting is also part of the sustainable fashion industry. So overall, I do feel that the hype is a benefit and it's good for sustainability awareness in general.
Right. On that note, well, even if thrift prices have risen, isn't it still more, sustainable to buy secondhand than to support wasteful fast fashion brands, Marcus?
So yeah, even though thrift prices have risen over time, I still think it's more sustainable, because like we want our future generations to enjoy this beautiful planet we call Earth.
Yeah.
And that I think that it's another layer to sustainability, because you can buy a second-hand piece of clothing, for example, a t-shirt or a pair of pants. But wearing it for a longer time and not changing your fashion taste too much could also be sustainability on your part, where you just wear your clothes out for a longer lifetime. And yeah, I feel like it's all about how you wear your clothes and how you decide to change your wardrobe, or how you decide to change your fashion sense. Because realistically, I feel like if you stick to a certain niche of fashion, you'll probably end up having some staple pieces, which means you're not really being wasteful. Even if it's a fast fashion brand, you're still wearing clothes for a long time.
Definitely.
So it's still boils down to the point of not wanting too many things and not changing up your wardrobe too often and throwing out clothes.
Right. And Eden, if thrift stores are pricing items based on trends rather than necessity, isn't that just creating another form of wasteful consumerism on the other hand, though?
Yes, you can see it that way, but at the same time, if the sustainable market is not hyped up, consumers will just choose to go for fast fashion for its convenience and the price. The sustainable fashion industry, it's so new to everybody. It's like in its infant stage right now. So I feel that diversification is bound to happen for these brands to grow sustainably as well. For example, for us at Vintage Weekend, we crop work shirts and then we use the excess to make little matching scrunchie sets for them. So that's an example of a way that we try and make our process less wasteful, and our products are already created from textile waste. So compared to fast fashion, I would really consider sustainable fashion alternatives like thrifting, upcycling to be more focused on conscious consumerism.
I see. Well, we've got great points from both Marcus and Eden here. But before we let you go, we have already discussed different aspects of thrifting as sustainability. But the root of today's conversation is, of course, whether thrifting is still affordable or overpriced now. So to end off this discussion, I want to both answer this question. Is thrifting still a budget-friendly and sustainable option, or has it become an overpriced trend? Marcus, we can start off with you.
Okay, so personally for me, I think I'll give into the debate that thrifting is still budget-friendly and sustainable, but I feel like there's more things we can do to be even more sustainable by ourselves. For example, taking our parents' old clothes and like repurposing it through cutting or cropping, or learning how to repurpose our own wardrobe as well. For example, cutting your pair of jeans into a pair of jorts. And I feel like there's many ways around it, but at the end of the day, our main goal is to not overconsume clothes and to always be sustainable. But yeah, I feel like beyond the prices and the affordability, thrifting has really brought a lot of youth together. It's made a lot of friendships. It's brought together people who love fashion. And it's given us a reason to meet up, given us an activity to do. We don't have to watch movies anymore. We don't have to go and find a new place to hang out Orchard. Shopping kind of like just is what we all love because we want to look good. We want to keep up with the trends. We want to be socially accepted. I feel like there's still always good deals to be found. Depop, Carousel, overseas, Singapore, flea markets. There's so many, but I can't name all. But yeah, I feel like if you really get into it and you really want to know, you'll really find really good deals. You'll find really unique pieces. For example, patchwork denim. That's only things you can find at thrift stores where they repurpose the old denims. They cut it up, they slice it, so you have 3 different shades of denims. Or you even get a denim sling bag. So I feel like there's a very big demand for it, and I don't think it's going to go away anytime.
I see. And Eden?
Yeah, I feel that thrifting will always be a budget-friendly and sustainable option. And there will always be an overpriced trend like Labubus and all that. Like, I saw one in the corner of the studio. Is it yours?
Yes, it is
I'm so
mine.
sorry. Yeah, but honestly, I do feel that thrifting really comes in many forms. It can be a lifestyle choice, like Marcus said, and it will be there for people who need it as well. For us at Vintagewknd, the furniture in our store is entirely thrifted. They're all second-hand. So I really wanted to share this story of really good steal, like what Marcus was saying. We have our cashier table. We bought it from this uncle at Chinatown. And this uncle, he used to run a jewelry store. So he had a cashier table, and he actually DIY installed a lot of mirrors in the cabinet. And he also lined it with like LED lights. And he even drilled little wheels below so that he can push it in and out of his shop. And Eileen and I, we loved it so much. It cost us $250. But that's opposed to if we were to buy a brand new cashier table for our store, it would cost like over $1,000. So it's honestly a really, really rewarding experience, like Marcus says, and it's super rewarding at any price point that you are comfortable with. Thrifting is part of the sustainable fashion industry. It's constantly changing and it's always growing. So I'm really excited to see what happens next with it as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Hongbin.
Thank you.
See you guys.
We've been speaking to Eden Tay, who is the co-founder of Vintagewknd, and fashion model Marcus Ng. And thank you so much for joining us on the hot seat today. And those who tuned in live on our social media platforms, Instagram and TikTok. Tune in again next week for another hot seat. I've been your host, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.